The Hamilton Anti-Racism Resource Center and the Hamilton Center for Civic Inclusion say the latest use of force data from the city's police shows systemic anti-Black racism in policing. The organizations are calling on police to make recommendations to address the gross overrepresentation of Black people in use of force incidents. Matt Ingram joins us live in studio with more on this. Matt.
Taz, the community organizations that gathered here at City Hall this morning all want the same thing: action from Hamilton Police and the Police Services Board to address what they say is a clear anti-Black bias in policing in Hamilton. Hamilton Police say understanding why this is happening is complicated and goes beyond just numbers, but they say they are committed to understanding the problem and doing something to address it.
The idea here is hope. The idea here is for something else.
They say they continue to hear concerns from Black Hamiltonians about overcharging and excessive use of force.
And the data released today is consistent with the concerns of systemic racism and anti-Black racism in policing.
Lyndon George from the Hamilton Anti-Racism Resource Center says this is nothing new, and creating trust between police, the Police Services Board, and Black communities is a key issue requiring a solution.
We must solve the fundamental problem.
The Ontario Anti-Racism Data Standards require police to calculate a disparity and disproportionality index for use of force incidents. That math shows Black people are overrepresented in use of force incidents in Hamilton by nearly 3.5 times. No other group is overrepresented.
They are forced to go through a criminal justice system even when they are victims of police force.
Gachi Issa with the Hamilton Community Legal Clinic says she has worked directly with Black clients who have experienced excessive use of force by police. People like Marcus Charles, who says he was tased while having a seizure last year.
There is a trauma that comes with these individual experiences that no one can describe or even remedy.
The use of force report was presented at today's Police Services Board meeting. Hamilton Police say in the report, disparity does not equate to discrimination, and that it is imperative to understand the drivers of disparity.
What the data does show, in fact, is that this is a complex conversation. Just the raw numbers without context is a dangerous way to interpret them.
Police Chief Frank Bergen says the service doesn't know what internal and external factors are driving the disparities.
I absolutely own what is the internal factors, and if we're looking at what is the bias that an officer brings to an event, or if we're looking at some other challenges that we have in those interactions, but I'm not going to be pretending that I'm an expert on some of that external factor.
Former head of the Hamilton Center for Civic Inclusion and candidate for City Council, Kojo Dampte, says he doesn't understand how the factors aren't known.
How? We've been talking about anti-Black racism in policing for over a decade.
Dampte is also concerned by comments made by Police Services Board Chair Pat Mandy to CBC Hamilton yesterday.
The chair has said that the collection of this data is harmful.
Mandy appearing to walk back those comments at today's meeting, saying she believes in the collection of race-based data, but has concerns about the methodology behind collecting it. There were 400 use of force reports completed in 2022, representing 291 incidents. The number of reports are above the 5-year average, but the number of incidents are below the average. There are more reports than incidents because each officer involved in an incident has to file a separate report. Hamilton Police wanting to emphasize that the number of use of force incidents represent a very small percentage of the total interactions with the public, but advocates underscore that for the people involved in these use of force incidents, especially in Black communities, the impact on their lives can be anything but small.